I think I already know how I'm gonna title this video. When PC and the model minority link up, a lot of times this can occur. So in this picture, you see two people. On the left, you see someone named Kevin Bowie, spelled B-U-I. And on the right, you see someone by the name of Gavin Seymour. And in the middle, you see a very disturbing, I'm about to say destructive. It is destructive. Very disturbing image of a house that was badly burned. And unfortunately, there were people in that house who died. They were killed. And these two right here on your screen are the ones responsible for that. Now, you're probably wondering who was in that house. Well, I found out that a black family lived there. Now, I found out they were immigrants, but that's besides the point at this point because I actually have a point to make here. They have been pushing for legislation for the model minority in this establishment so they could be protected from hate crimes. Yet, here you have a model minority on your screen. Yes, I know we have PC on the screen, but that's par for the course. But we have a model minority on our screen, quote unquote, who engaged in not only the burning, but the murder of a family at the same time. And wait till you find out how old these two are. I'll give you a hint. Neither one of them are of legal age. So that lets you know they got this early. Let's go ahead and get into it. And this is coming out of Denver, Colorado. Two 16-year-olds are facing adult charges, and rightfully so, for allegedly murdering 5 people and burning down the home they lived in Green Valley Ranch last summer. The fire began before 3 a.m. at 5312 North Truckee Street on August 5th. An infant, a toddler, and 3 adults were killed. 3 other people, a man, a woman, and child, jumped from the second story of the building and survived. Kevin Bowie is facing 60 counts, including murder, arson, and burglary for allegedly starting a fire that killed 5 Senegalese immigrants on Green Valley Ranch on August 5th, 2020. One teen, Kevin Bowie, is facing a total of 60 counts split between several charges that included first-degree murder with extreme indifference, attempted murder with extreme indifference, burglary, and assault with a deadly weapon. The other 16-year-old Gavin Seymour is facing the same counts. Gavin Seymour is facing 60 counts including murder, arson, and burglary for allegedly starting a fire that killed 5 Senegalese immigrants on Green Valley Ranch on August 5th, 2020. A 15-year-old boy was also arrested for his alleged involvement. According to Denver District Attorney, he will be charged with 47 counts as a juvenile, although the DA is pushing to have his case moved out of juvenile court so he too can be tried as an adult. A woman, Tanya Bowie, arrested the same day as the 3 teens, is facing unrelated gun and drug charges. According to police, she is related to one of the teenage suspects. I mean, do we have to ask which one she's related to? I mean, it's clearly obvious it's the one that's on the left. They have the same last name. Related to one of the teenage suspects in the arson and murder. Fox 31 spoke with close friends and family advocates of the victims about this decision. It is such a horrible crime to where I think they should not be allowed to be charged as anything other than adults. Amadou Dieng said, adding, "We do hope the book is thrown at them and they get the longest sentence possible." Dieng, a family spokesperson and close friend to the victim, said this latest update is what they needed to hear to start the healing process. "We lost 5 people. We will never see them again. We will talk about baby Hawa." I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name correctly. It's either Hawa or Hawa. "She will never be able to meet her dad. She was barely 8 months old. Just knowing Jabril," I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his name, "how hard he worked, the late nights he would stay to get his engineering degree." The victim's former college roommate, Usman Ba, said, adding, "To see the smile on his face when he got that degree and to see someone take that away." They need to also throw hate crime charges on top of them as well. I mean, all those other charges are fine or whatever, but they need to have hate crime charges on there as well. And we're saying all this to say this. They love to claim that the model minority, we're just gonna say that because we all know what I mean when I say that, is so innocent and so upstanding in society that they would not be capable of doing something like this. Have we forgotten about what happened with Akai Gurley and Peter Liang, and how the Asian community in droves came out to support this murderer? And then at the drop of a hat, he ended up having his charges overturned right before he was about to get one of the longest sentences possibly ever for a cop in New York. Do you know how hard that is? And so many other instances of racism coming from the model minority when it comes to black people. Now, this was a Senegalese family. This was an immigrant family. This wasn't black American born. But the fact of the matter is, they were still black at the end of the day. That could have happened to anyone that they just didn't, they saw that happened to be black. It's just that that family happened to be on their radar. Look at the house. Look at it. That house is barely standing. Now, I don't even know how they even were able to set this house on fire. I don't know if they threw Molotov cocktails or whatever, but you can tell that this house burnt from the inside out and not from the outside in. It's not like they started the fire on the outside. This was from within. You can tell because the structure is still up, and the burning is still more on the inside. So I wonder, did they throw something in there? Did they projectile something in there and it exploded? That's my guess. So I have a feeling that they threw something in from the outside, and that's what happened. Killed an entire family for the most part. They said 3 jumped from the second story and survived. And 5, including a toddler, is dead because of these 2. But they want us to rally behind the one on the left because they get talked about because of what happened with the virus last year. And we're supposed to feel bad? And the thing is, many would say that this could have been an isolated incident. This stuff happens more often than you would care to believe. And not just in the States. Remember a few years ago over in Africa, I forgot what country it was, you had that Asian or that Chinese person, whoever it was, had a business and said that after a certain time that the residents there could not come there to come to their business after a certain time because, of the stereotype. Well, they's like, okay, fine. When that Asian man closed his business for the day, that was the last time he would ever see it open. Because those residents who got discriminated against went back and burnt his business to the ground. When he got back there the next day, or whenever he was alerted, all that was left of his business was ashes and dust. And they probably like, oh, you burnt my business. They said, well, you're lucky we didn't burn it with you in it. Like, how are you going to come over from another nation and set up shop and tell the residents who's been there when and when they cannot come to your business and you set up shop in their area? That story will always be planted in my head. And that happened, I can't remember how long ago that was, but it was a while ago. It was probably a little over 10 years ago when I heard that story. Maybe a little bit less, but it was a while ago. But that story will always forever sit with me. And then I keep thinking of, like, in the movie Do the Right Thing, where you had the Asian store owner kept trying to discriminate against the black residents there. And after the black people burned down Sal's pizzeria, after what happened with Radio Raheem, they went over to try to go burn his stuff down because of the discrimination of what he was doing. And then he tried to say, no, I'm black too. I'm black too. Man, I would have pushed past him and let me stop. let me not go too far into that. Y'all, those of you who saw the movie Do the Right Thing, which I'm assuming many of you have, know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, throw the book at both of them. And they said he had a relative, what was it, a sister that was there too on other unrelated charges. Get her too. Get all of them. Get as many as you possibly can and toss the book at them. And it sounds like they're possibly going to do that because they upgraded their charges from juvenile to adult. They're charging them as adults, which means that's pretty serious. But we'll see, because you already know how this establishment plays their little games. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, make sure you text the number that is pinned down in the link in the comment section below so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video.